It is. It's a Thursday edition of the Endless Party Radio Show right here on Colossal Radio, and coming at you out of Carbon County, Pennsylvania, right here in and around the Poconos. And we got a lot going on. There's a lot coming up. A lot we've all done together in just 2 months with this station, and every one of you people that are listening to the show. And I know right now, as we can tell with the whole analytics, people are everywhere on board with ColossalRadio.rocks. Those of you that are on board by way of the phone app, the free phone app, come back. I'm glad you're here for my next guest, but certainly come back because I'm really not that good. I still suck after 30-some years, but I am trying to get it right. It is the incredible and the legendary, and we are so happy she is back, Martha Davis from the Motels. How are you?
I am fabulous, my darling, and you are too.
We're in a good place, man. Martha Davis from the Motels on board with Colossal Radio, and we got so much that we can talk about. We could talk forever, but we're going to highlight some great things. But what's been going on? Let's just start there.
Well, I think you and I may be on the same kind of trajectory in the sense that I've kind of spent the last year or so taking it all back and trying to do it myself and trying to, it's just like I've had a long ass career, if I may use the A word.
Absolutely. But, all you want.
But it's there's been a lot of times where there's been mismanagement, bad management, downright criminal
Yeah, right.
Like different people I've been involved with where, it just seemed like I always had to have somebody in my life that was disruptive, and I think right now I don't have any disruptions.
That's great.
And I've started my own record label called Remarkable Records, and I have the best band in the world, and we've been together 16 years now. And it's just kind of going gangbusters, and that's a good thing to say for a 68-year-old dame.
I'll tell you what, man, and how about it? And still at it. It's so cool. I mean, and like I told Martha, again, Martha Davis from the Motels on board with Colossal Radio. What an absolutely incredible job. And before I go any further, I got to thank Dave Miller, my booking agent here, who knows so many people, so many contacts with PR people throughout the country, and able to land Martha Davis. I mean, listen. So much, like you said, we can be thankful for. Let's start a little bit about it. I mean, the Warfield Foxes back in 1971 is where it all started. Isn't that great? The Foxes, and it's like that was hot. It was hot, right?
Yeah. We were a crazy little band from Berkeley, and in 1975, I guess it was, we decided to move down to L.A. and become famous overnight, which of course did not happen. But we did change our name from the Warfield Foxes to the Motels down there, and on our way to our first gig at Barney's Beanery.
Yeah, isn't that great? Now, and Barney's Beanery. Now, listen, where did the Motels come from? Did you, on the way to the Beanery? Did you say we're passing the motel? We need to be called.
That was exactly what happened because we'd gone from the Warfield Foxes to the Angels of Mercy. That's what we were for a few minutes, and I was just like, I'm like, we should be passing out soup if we're going to be the Angels of Mercy. Come on, that's not a good name. And we were driving down Santa Monica Boulevard to go to Barney's, and Santa Monica at that time, that's where all the motels were. And Dean Chamberlain, the guitar player, looked up at the signs. He goes, "What about the motels?" And I went, "Brilliant." Okay. And it was literally, we walked in and the guy at Barney's was like, "And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Angels of..." No, the Motels. Okay, the Motels.
That is funny. That's classic. And I just brought that up. I'm me. I'm not thinking, well, maybe you passed Motels. And it's like, sure enough. It's like,
exactly.
Too
what
funny.
Happened? Boom.
Finally, one in the W column for the doctor here, man. Just one in the W column for me, man. It all your sultry voice, and you still have it. Your sultry voice. I mean, big in France and Australia. It took a little while. Like, it took a little while, like for the States to warm up, right?
Yeah, they didn't get the first album, and the first album, Total Control, went to like number 2 in Australia or something crazy like that. So we were, that was kind of shocking because I had no idea. We went to tour in Australia, and we started to play Total Control, and all these lighters came out, and people are swaying back and forth. And I'm like, what the hell? But Australia has always been a great market for us, and yeah, they latched quick and hard, and I went back there many times. I'd like to get back there again, as a matter of fact, with this new album.
I'll tell you, there's so much going on, and again, we'll touch base with the new album coming up. It's just there's so much I could sit here and talk. Yeah, I wouldn't care about anybody else listening. I could just sit here and hang out and I don't know, break open some wine and hang out and just hang out with Martha Davis, man. I'm all about it. So many things, and something else that just came through here for me, and this might be somebody, hopefully you remember who this person is. Something just came through now. It says, hey, Doc, would you do me a favor on the air today when Martha Davis, and by the way, Martha Davis from the Motels on board with us right here on Colossal Radio. How cool is that? Please tell her that Marilyn from Skyline Music says hello.
Aw, bless her little heart.
So,
hey, Marilyn's my gal. I love her.
There you are.
I love her. She is also a cat person, and I lost I don't even know how old my cat was. I think she was with me, 25 years or something.
No kidding. The one cat lived that long?
The only way I can tell is how many places I lived. Well, I was there 14 years here and 5 years there and 5 years there. And, yeah, she was old and hilarious. And when she passed, dear Marilyn sent me the sweetest card. We've never met in person, but we're gonna.
Oh,
but
that's crazy. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That you never met in person, but yet that's cool. So again, she's on board and passing that along to you. But it's funny you mentioned cats. On a side note and a sidebar here, it's that's really how I remember my place in time from the women I was married to. That's a true statement, man.
There you go.
You have it going on with your cat. You have it going on with your cat, and I got it going on with the pussies who I live with.
You know
what I mean?
I was with her I gotcha. Well, we all have to have. How can you keep track of time anymore?
Yeah.
Time is crazy now. I don't know what's happened to it, but it's gone out of control, and so we have to have markers because. Don't you feel that way? That time is just flying?
I do, and it's funny that you say that because I just had a little bit of a skull session and marketing meeting with another client right here just earlier, about a half hour ago, that they swung through the station for some info, and we were just talking about that, and we were talking about time management because we do need it. We have to figure it out too, but I understand totally where you're coming from. It seems like it's just craziness is going on. Why is that?
I have a feeling, I blame it all on computers because we got to this thing where we want everything faster.
Yeah.
And so everything's going faster, and we're like, well, wait a minute. I didn't mean for everything to go faster, just my computer.
Right.
But yeah, it's crazy. But time, I've never believed that time is anything but it's a construct. It's not linear. I love science.
That's great.
So yeah,
we were talking and we'll get back on that. We're definitely going to talk about this new album coming up here too. But just to and like I said, when I got on board with Martha Davis from the Motels, before we got to you guys, it's like we're just going to hang out, man. I could be one of the strangest cats in interviews you ever had, but I'm all about just hanging out, throwing my feet back, and just shooting the breeze, man, with you. And that's how I go about it. But we were talking about again on another sidebar about how things are fast, how I don't know, the planets aren't aligned here, right? And I don't know, what do you think? I mean, we're not quite right there, are we?
No, we're not. We're definitely like in a. I like I said, I like science, and I live out in the farm, and I like to study natural phenomenon, and throughout, for my entire life, I've sort of done that, and I noticed one thing about everything in nature. Everything has one movement, whether it's the universe or the stock market. It's like breathing. It goes in and it goes out. And with the in, you get the goodness, and then it goes out and you get some... Because nothing ever stays the same. We have these pendulum swings. We go from really horrible to, to pretty grounded and good, and then we go back and, and we go, why don't we learn from history? Well, I think it's just a natural phenomenon. And right now, we're at a big, nasty exhalation of halitosis, if you will. It's just, we're not, we have done things to the planet, to ourselves. I don't think we've done ourselves any great favors by chasing money and doing the stuff that we've done is just not beneficial to our health.
No.
I have this is my one soapbox I'll pull out. I believe everybody should live underground. I am just like, I'm completely convinced that this is like, we should leave the top floor to nature. There's so many beautiful ways to do it. You know, you plant your house in the hillside, you have a beautiful view, but you never have to heat it, you never have to cool it, you never have to paint it. You never, I mean, and it's like, then we give the top floor to nature, who's known what to do with this planet for a long time. Yeah. Anyway, that's my big thing. Everybody move underground. I actually, rather than just talking the talk, I've moved myself down to the basement. And when it comes to hot summer, everybody wants to be in my room. Yeah.
Listen. I'll take a flight right after my show. I'll come out and hang out with you. I don't care, man. I'm right there. I don't know. Just tell me what we're drinking, what I'm bringing. I'll bring it. I'm there. So Martha Davis from the Motels on board here with us, and touching base on so much. I mean, like I said, not my first rodeo or Martha's to do these interviews, and you can go on, and we can keep her on forever, which she's got a lot more things doing here. But, you know, getting into it, let's, you know, starting it all out in the 70s, but, you know, let's get in here now. We're like MTV days, you know, remember, like, I don't know what the hell's going on with MTV now, but it's like, remember you guys. I mean, MTV, that's where it was. That's where it happened. Martha Davis, the Motels. We all know it, man. And if you're not getting goosebumps on it now, how was that? The videos.
That was an amazing time. It was such a, well, the 80s themselves, and probably why they're still, you know, we're still going out and doing 80s shows with a bunch of 80s people because people love that era. It was an era where everybody, one of the things that I loved the most about it is every band wanted to be unique.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to sound like anybody else or look like anybody else.
You betcha.
We went to great pains to like not be, you know, and it was so you had this amazing from Devo to Blondie to Chrissy Hynde to like all these different kinds of music, Talking Heads. It was and then video came along, and we all just got to be even more creative. And when you're an artist and you get, it's like somebody giving you a whole new paint box. You know, you've got a whole new set of tools to try to experiment and try to be. So there's a flurry when that happens. And the combined thing of like synthesizers that people could buy and take home, you know, and these new tools, it was such an exciting and wonderful time. It really was.
Yeah, it's just, you know, and we think about it. I mean, the when MTV, and we all talk about it, when MTV was MTV. I mean, it was just incredibly incredibly refreshing, and like you said, everybody sounded as themselves, unique. And nowadays, I don't know. There's people coming on the radio now going, I don't know what the hell, I don't even know who the hell it is. You know, if it wouldn't be picking it up on my car radio, that it would say who's the. It's like a lot of them sound the same.
I know. There's a very, very homogenized sound, and it's basically the way that they're actually treating the sounds, you know, the compression and this and that.
Sure.
The tuning machines that aren't even used for tuning anymore, they're just in effect, and it's just like, it's hard on the ears, if you ask me, but, you know, I'm an old woman.
Yeah, let me tell you something. An old woman that's coming back, and there ain't age is nothing. I've discussed that with friends here, too, as of late. Yeah. Age is nothing, and you know what? It really is nothing. It's what we do, your drive. I'll tell you what, Martha Davis from the Motels, back, man, back. And I have...
Never actually went away, which is the
true, you know, but back on the road and doing, I mean, a hell of a schedule. Listen, find things, themotels.com. Obviously, you guys that are on board with internet radio, I would think you have, some sensibility in you that you can find themotels.com online. Make sure you get to their Facebook page, give them a like, give them a comment from you guys being the now part of the Colossal Posse. What do you think of that? That's pretty cool,
I
right?
love it. Colossal Posse.
Listen, you know what I want to do? This was here's another, I do a lot of sidebars. Here's another thought I had, you know, and it's being made from my merch people, where my merchandise, part of the proceeds are going to help out others, you know, around our area and across the nation, whatever we can do with a couple extra dollars to help people out and good causes. But I figured, why not? How cool would it be to have women's underwear with Colossal Posse on the front of women's underwear? I think it's
I like it.
See,
I like it.
Martha Davis. Martha Davis from the. Would you wear
I
them?
endorse it.
Would you wear them? Would you? If I send you a pair, would you wear them?
I would certainly try.
All
yes.
right, all right. Well, unless you don't wear any, I don't know.
No.
I'm only kidding. Too fun. Listen, yeah, we mentioned the band. Then I want to get into this new album. And guys, you got to check out the schedules. Martha is and the Motels. Martha Davis. They are getting here to the East Coast. They will get here to Coney Island, New York. Not that far from us, a couple of hours. A little further south, though, is Georgia. But they are getting into Coney Island. You can check out the schedule and the tour dates. But the band, you mentioned them. Nick, you got Nick Johns, I think. You got Marty Gerard there. You got Clint Walsh. You got Eric Gardner. Everybody clicking real well, yeah?
Well, we have a complete love fest, and it truly is like the greatest. It's the best Motels that ever have been. It's not the original Motels. Mm-hmm. Marty is an original guy, but he actually joined back up in 2011. The other guys I have been playing with since 2003. Mm-hmm. We've been together forever, and I love them with all my heart. They're like my family. Yeah. So, and we bring it. It's a great band, you know. So, yeah, Eric, our drummer, who's this amazing world-class drummer. Years ago, I have told all the boys, I said, look, if somebody comes along and throws like a wads of money at you, just go take the money. I'll be here. You come back when you're done. Wow. So right now he's out with Melissa Etheridge. Melissa! So, but he'll be back at the end of the year. But so that's how we roll. We love each other. And, yeah, it's just, I'm so lucky in that department. I even love all their girlfriends. I mean, they're the best guys in the world. They're just so talented and wonderful.
That's great.
I'm so lucky.
Yeah, that's great. Melissa, as Melissa Etheridge, I believe, coming to an entertainment venue right here in the Poconos. It's an incredible place, Penn's Peak. I believe Melissa Etheridge is coming up. I don't have the exact date in front of me. Just knowing that, with you mentioning that, maybe.
Yes, go see my drummer Eric.
Yeah, go see Eric. With Melissa Etheridge, I know she's coming up. I do not think I missed that. I was just looking over local concert schedules, and that is. You
know what the funniest part is that we got a sub drummer, and the sub drummer is a drummer that I used to work with years ago. His name is Fritz Lewack. He was Melissa's original drummer.
Oh, get out.
Melissa and I are just sharing. Oh. That's what we're doing.
You're sharing drummers. I don't know. That seems to go along in the rock and roll world, but people share a lot of things. That's all right, man.
Yeah.
I'm all about, listen, sharing is caring as long as it's not STDs. That's all I know.
Yes.
This new album, and I'll tell you guys, the tracks on it, solid. I mean, totally solid. So polished, but so Martha Davis and the Motels, and I'm telling you that straight up. I know a little something about music after 30-some years doing what I do, and this new album, "Last Few Beautiful Days," is unreal. Tell me more. What's going on with it?
To me, it's the best Motels album that's ever been recorded. It took a while in the making because my boys all live down in L.A. and I live up in Oregon, so we'd sort of get together and when we had gigs and to put some work in on it. But it had a long journey from where it began. It actually started up here. I just finished my studio up here in the basement, and we jammed out the first few tracks. You know, I think we started on Tipping Point from these scraps of melodies that I had laying around, and then my basement flooded again, and I sent all my gear down to Nick. Now, Nick is the producer on this album, and Nick is the secret weapon. He is the bass player in the band, but this guy he's such a genius, and he's so wonderful, and this album sounds so beautiful. He's actually right now mixing. Clint has his own project that he's doing, and Nick's doing that as well as 10,000 other things. But the thing started as I kind of wanted to do, I like you look around and go, wow, where did we go off? We are way off base here, and the things that bother me are the greed and the self-involvement that takes us away from any kind of caring about our planet, each other, all that stuff. So I was going to make a sort of political record. But I know from experience that if you make it political, then people will just argue with you. So I wanted to make it all first person, like it was all stories I was telling. And then I figured out that I wasn't hearing me singing it. When I thought about it, I was like even hearing like a male, like a male version of. So I brought this other song, "Light Me Up," back in, and I threw it in this sequence, and all of a sudden it literally became kind of the story of my life. It's so strange how art works. It'll take you on this like long roundabout thing. The true sequence, the sequence that I originally had thought of, is not the way that it is on the album. But I'm about to re-release it on vinyl on Remarkable Records, and I am going to put it in the sequence that I thought would be correct. And it's a story, and it starts with "Light Me Up," about me wanting to, all I wanted to do was music. It's all I knew how to do. I had 2 kids. I had 2 kids when I was 15, and I never finished school. But I had a thing with music, and it's following that dream and all of the bullshit that goes along with it, and the heartbreak, and it didn't end. It didn't end well. I lost 3 years ago, I lost my oldest daughter.
I'm sorry.
Thanks to the pharmaceutical industries, who once again, what the fuck? Excuse me.
Go ahead.
With the money.
Right.
I mean, you're going to just kill people for money?
Right.
It's just, so, it's the record is that journey, and in saying that, it's really heartfelt for me and heartbreaking and beautiful. I'm so lucky I have this way to be able to, go through these emotions, and that I have this band that love me, and I love them so much to be there with me.
This is, what was, if you're not getting this whole thing, right now, then you might as well, like, just tune out of this show, here now, and this entire radio station, because I run the same parallel course, not losing a child. So my heart goes out to you. However, the parallel of trying to get along and do the right thing and take care of each other. If you're not getting this, whole down home feel from Martha Davis to the Motels, a spectacular time that I'm able to spend with you here on the show, and that was it. That's what we said before we got on the air. It wasn't easy. Martha got to a point where it was never out of her. It was never out of your scope, but at one time there when things weren't working, you like put it off to the side, going, whatever, I quit, I'm done. But you never stopped. You never, and this is, like I said before we even went on the air, it's a life lesson. Things that I talk about here. You run into a brick wall, something that no parent should ever go through, something that and my mother did, and I know we both know other people that have, for whatever reason.
Thousands of people.
Right, but you don't. You have a choice in life, and that is to proceed forward and try to do the right thing, or do the wrong thing. That's it's all about choices.
Yeah.
So Martha Davis, what a lesson there from you.
Yeah,
which is
remember
great.
the day after I found out, I had a gig, and everybody's like, "Well, we'll cancel the gig," and I go, "No, what else am I going to do?"
Right, right.
What else am I going to do?
Yeah,
I have to do that.
Yeah.
So the heartbreak. To me, the part that just compounds it to such is because it's just greed. It's
I hear
just greed.
I hear you.
You're taking people's children.
Yeah.
I mean, when my daughter died, she died with another girl. They both died at the same time. Her mom called me and told me, and I had brought my daughter up to the farm to try to keep her safe. And you can't, once that demon is in you, man,
Yep.
And you can get it online. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It sure is. I mean, it's an up close and personal look with Martha Davis of the Motels on Colossal Radio, which is absolutely incredible, and to have somebody that honest and has seen things and been through it all. But I'll tell you, back and really never gone anywhere, but back and on the road, a hell of a touring schedule starting May 11th in a couple days.
It started already. I've been in and out of the back and forth. So, yep, I just got back from playing the Whiskey, which was hilarious because I've played that place since the 70s.
Wow,
so
no kidding.
That's memories there. Yeah, we're going to be all over the place, and it's not going to be the whole band. Like a lot of them is going to be this '80s things where I go out with like Marty, and with another band. It's like because there's so many '80s bands, you know, and so everybody will do like 3 songs, but you'll get the cream of the crop, you know.
Yeah.
But I love the full sets when we can play with the band and do the new music and stuff. So.
Yeah, man. How about it? Lots doing. I mean, as you mentioned, Independent Music Awards nomination, Best Album 2019, Last Few Beautiful Days, right?
Yeah.
You know, like a new record label in progress, as you mentioned, yours, Remarkable Records.
Yep.
I love
I'm going to try to get my kids' stuff out this year and my jazz album out this year, which, you know, has been sitting there wanting to do something since 2011.
Yeah, that's all right. We're not done yet. Are you kidding? They can't get rid of us, Martha.
My favorite saying is the dance and the old dame yet. You know, hey.
You and me both, man. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I think I have somebody that'll keep me young. Or either kill me. I'm not quite sure which. Listen. A lot of things. Let's just for a few more moments. And man, this has just been extremely awesome. Dave Miller, my booking agent, thank you. Your PR people that are
Franny, Franny's the best.
Franny is incredibly hands down awesome, and Franny's actually going to be working on a lot of things coming in through Colossal Radio because she has some great ties to some more like Martha Davis, some A-listers that'll be making their way into the show. So Franny, we love you. Thanks. A couple of things What is, listen, you're on, first of all, we all heard, if you heard it, I heard it in my headphones. I hear roosters in the background.
Yep, you do. Yes, you do. You hear some roosters. The alpacas are now making their way down the field. The flowers are blooming. The little chihuahua's staring at me like I'm crazy.
That's all right. That's all right. So what is Martha Davis of the Motels? What's a fun night out? Are you like a nighttime person? You a morning lady? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What do we do in the afternoon?
No, I'm a very stay-at-home person because I travel so much for the biz. So I always go to cities because that's where you play. So I scamper home to my little farm, and then it's hard as hell to get me off the farm.
Yeah, man.
Because it's gorgeous, and there's always stuff to do, and I just am a bit of a homebody.
That's all right. No, there's nothing wrong. Listen, other than me doing what I do, there's sometimes I retreat in there as well. You know.
Yep. And, now when it's gig night, though, I mean that's time for a little wine and some, you know.
Yeah.
This and that. Yep.
I'm the same way. I got a gig night tonight. I got a local gig night tonight that I'm out and about with, doing a little bit of happy hour with Bodacious Burgers and beer tonight, man. So.
Oh, nice, nice. But, Colossal Bodacious Burgers.
How about it? The Colossal Bodacious Burgers. So we'll be out and about tonight, hanging out with some great locals, man, which is great. The whole album, the whole tour, it is really, it's great to have. It's great to have the Motels, the music of the Motels, certainly back, and it's got to be, like I said, it's got to be such a great feeling, right?
Yeah, well, we're trying our best. In 2007, I released a couple of albums, but I had no Franny for one thing, and I had no concept, and I sort of just put them out on the internet, and they just disappeared, because that's a big ocean out there, and you drop them in, and it's just So now we're going to try to do it a little bit smarter, and got a team, and so hopefully, because it's all about, as you know, I mean, I have a saying that you're not real until you're virtual, because until I had somebody really work in the Facebook, I mean, everybody's like, wow, we thought you were dead. Where have you been? I went, I've been gigging every year. I've been here. I didn't go away. I went away for 1 year in like 89 after I did the Policy album. I upholstered couches for about a year. But other than that, I have been on the road every year. I've been writing and making music, and so it's perception. And nowadays, everything has to be perceived through the eye of the social media. And if you don't have that together, I'm sorry, nobody's going to see you.
You're right. You're right.
Kind of sad.
You're right, and it is really interesting because again, I talk about that all the time. I could not do it with the people that are on board with me right now, the guys that are behind me, the guys that put together this studio, the guys that are on board right now doing social media stuff while we are on. I cannot. No one, especially in this day and age, but no one can do it alone. Not a single person. Not a single person.
And that's true of everything in life.
Absolutely.
You know? Unless you're just going to be, I guess you could be a hermit by yourself. That would work out.
Yeah, right.
Just lower your goals and succeed, I guess. But if we're going to actually contribute to this planet and to each other, we got to work together, period. That's all there is to it.
Totally, something that I talk about all the time. Absolutely.
And people fighting, and it's like when you watch, I think it's hard for people to like get a good compass on what's going on, because we see what's going on in government and stuff, and it's just like everybody just fights. It's just like fighting, and it's just ridiculous. It seems like high school, or I didn't get there, junior high.
Yeah. Hey, I listen. Those of you that are listening to her, I hope you're getting this right, because how many times do I say that? You know, I see these asshats that are on TV. You know, still the best country in the world. Love it. We have a lot of good here, but oh my gosh, you see things. All they do is chase tails. Nobody gets anything done. It's like, oh my God, am I the only one seeing this? Right?
No, it's crazy, and it's, you know, I think that I have a theory. I have many theories. One of them is that every 100 years, that when the calendar ticks over to the next 100 years, we're just kind of like a superstitious lot, and we get scared. Well, this time it was a millennium, and we were all told we were going to die. It was Y2K, you're all going to die, and then it was 9/11, you're all going to die, and they've been telling us we're all going to die, and everybody's been so fucking freaked out and scared that they're not. When people get scared, they don't take care of each other. They take care of number one.
Yeah,
and that's what we've been doing. So, well, don't be scared. There's nothing to be scared of until the meteor falls on our
Totally. Well, I'm right there with you. I'm not. And listen, you know, here I got like a lady that's been around forever, a wonderful person. First of all, if you didn't get this interview, and I know we're going to get a lot of feedback on a personal and up close approach with Martha Davis of the Motels, but I'm not here to agree with you whether you're Martha Davis or not, but you know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And it doesn't take... Look, all we do is music. I flunked fourth. You didn't even get to high school, and we get it.
Yeah, I know. Well, part of the reason that we do get it is because you and I have both been in a business where we get to experience a lot of different things. And the hardest part about humans is when they don't experience things, when they're... I mean, I live in a very small community, and people tend to be very conservative because they don't leave the community, they don't see things, and so they're frightened by them, because what you don't know is frightening.
That's right.
That's part of humans, you know.
Right.
So we have been lucky enough to be in, I mean, I travel all the time. I go to all kind of crazy places and meet all kind of crazy people, and realize that all these crazy people are not even as crazy as I am. So
how about it, man? I hear you on that one too. I love Martha. I want to move in. I want to I'll just listen. I'll tend to the farm when you go out. I'll do my radio show from there. When you come back, we'll just I don't know.
I got a lot of bedrooms. I got some vacancies.
All right, I'm in. I'm going. Listen. Franny. I'm getting you my personal email. I know Fran's on board. I'm moving out. I'm taking the station. I've got engineers. We'll take care of the farm while Martha's on the road. Come back. I'll even cook. You know,
And what's weird is, like, in Oregon, it's not even raining because now you guys have all the rain. I don't know where our rain went.
I'm telling you, that's what I said there before we went on the air. It does nothing but rain in Pennsylvania now. I mean, it's crazy. All it is just raining all the time. Yeah. Like I said, I can go on and on and on. You are an up close, personal, good stuff interview going on, and I've done hundreds and hundreds, if not even thousands, over the years with all people in this business and elsewhere. But this was incredibly one of the highest ranking for real, man. So
you're very sweet.
You know, it was up close and personal with Martha Davis of the Motels, and you know, so much. You guys got to get on board. Make sure, listen, all of you that are on board, and new people that came by way of Fran. Fran, thanks for throwing the whole Colossal Radio .rocks and phone app and everything out on all your PR stuff as well. You guys found a home here. It is real. This is not anything. This is no cookie cutter format shit that I do here. All right, I can tell.
I feel right at home.
You know, I've done the corporate world, and there's nothing wrong with it. I got great guys that are in the corporate field and doing radio. Listen, I don't need that anymore. It's all good. There's no disrespect. I do what I do. This is as real. This is as real as it's going to get with Colossal Radio.
If we can be proud of ourselves and go forward with our beliefs, and if they're good and righteous, and you know, like I end every show with, you know, take care of each other.
How about it, man?
That's what we got to do.
How about it? And one more note, one of my guys that are on board here. So listen, I know there are a bunch of people locally. And Franny, you might want to check this venue out too. I will give this venue a plug too, which is a great place. It's called Penn's Peak. So I know friends on board, pennspeak.com, you'll find it. Maybe something down the road for Martha and Martha Davis and the Motels to get to, who knows. But I know it's a beautiful venue.
You know, you and me got to hang out.
I will definitely.
There's a bottle of wine with our name on it.
All right, let's do it. I mean, if Franny gets you in here and we get a little closer, I'm not going to be able to make Coney Island, New York in August. I'll be not too far from you. I'll be down on the beach in Ocean City, I believe. But like I said,
we'll figure it out.
Let's figure it out. But Melissa Etheridge, by the way, and that's the reason I bring up Penn Speak, Melissa Etheridge is actually there with Eric as the drummer tonight. Melissa Etheridge is playing Penn Speak tonight. So they're there tonight.
Eric.
Yep, so they're doing it tonight. So Eric Gardner, those of you going to the Melissa Etheridge concert, Eric Gardner, Martha Davis. Yep.
Also, Eric Gardner is an amazing artist, a fabulous collage artist. So.
That's great.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I miss him.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Listen, I could go on and on. You were absolutely spectacular. I wish you nothing but absolute continued success, man. And what a strong presence. Great vibes, man. And Franny gets you out here a little further where I have some free time, man. We've definitely got to hook up.
Hang out. We'll do an in studio or.
I'm all about it. Whatever we need to do. And I know Franny and my booking agent will be in touch with each other as well. But ladies and gentlemen, and Miss Martha Davis of the Motels, you were spectacular. And I'm going to do some old school here. And don't hang up, Martha. If you have one more minute before we so we can do virtual hugs and say goodbye. So don't go anywhere.
Okay.
But I will do this song. You might have heard it once or twice, maybe. But let's go back a whole bunch of years to where it all started here. And Suddenly Last Summer. Can I play that one?
Yes, you may.
Let's do it. Listen, we'll be back, everybody. We'll wrap up the show in a few minutes. Stick around, all right?